Hi, beautiful conscious creator. Welcome to this January 2022 energy interpretation. My name is Casey Knight. My frequency name is Aurora Light. I'm a conscious creation coach and voice activation guide for beautiful way showers and light leaders, the people who know that they are here to anchor in light for this planet, especially right now. We're saying goodbye to 2021, and it has been a wild year. It almost seemed to go very quickly, though. Time certainly sped up. And we've been walking through since 2019 some incredibly intense energy that has really been, raising the collective frequency of the planet, but shaking loose everything that is not of that frequency. It literally cannot handle it, basically. With the rays of light that are bombarding the planet right now, they're speeding things up. They're making them vibrate faster. So density, which vibrates more slowly, is basically being shaken up, shaken off. And of course, this looks like chaos energy. This looks like dismantling of so many of the old systems. This looks like internal recalibration, a lot of renewal, a lot of evolution, and sometimes it's this like raising of the ground, just burning it all down so that we can have space to rebuild. And for many of us, especially those of us that are stepping up as leaders of the, I want to say, evolution, the radiant evolution of humanity, sometimes you're going to be shifting and changing and evolving so fast, it almost takes your breath away. And there is a very interesting quest that we get to go on to contain stability and bring it into our systems so that we can feel rooted and anchored even as everything is shifting and changing so quickly. So when I was tuning into January of 2022, I was getting themes of dissolving, dismantling, and chaos. And my first thought was, what else is new? What else is new? We've been doing this for a while. It's going to be a roller coaster. And actually, rather than a roller coaster, which was the energy theme that came to me back in like September 2019 of like, we are going on a wild ride for the next few years and it's going to be very intense ups and downs and a lot of polarity and extremes. The imagery that's coming to me this month is that of being on a giant trampoline. And basically we are being launched up into space and then hurtling back down. And it can either feel like you're flying or like you're falling. And all of it is a matter of perspective and how much you can be in both the energies of control and surrender, somewhere in between, right? This space of flow, of focus. Now, as a former trampoline gymnast, the metaphor when it came to me, and it was very vivid imagery and like the visceral feeling of this up and down energy coming to us right now, I understand that trampolines can be so fun, so amazing, and also incredibly dangerous. So it's a choice to view it either as terrifying or thrilling. The perspective that you wear for 2022, especially here in January, setting the tone for the year, is really going to support your experience. The lens that you are looking through is going to really create what it is that you experience. There are more themes that came through. Basically, there was a lot of inner world work and rebuilding of that, especially as the outer world is in chaos. There is a strong energy coming forward saying, stay the course. In both of these extremes of polarity, if we can zoom out enough in terms of our perspective to see that it is all part of the human experience, it's all necessary right now, and hold it all without judgment and just allowing, then we're actually able to zoom out to that unity perspective, the one that is capable of having that experience of the all that is. So we are really being tested right now. These last few years have been a masterclass in being able to hold the acceptance of all that is, right? So much polarity, so much duality, so much opposition. So how do we deal? Rest when we need to rest, allowing the body and the nervous system to unwind as much as possible. Commitment is key, right? When we do have things that we are here to consciously create, commitment to the dreams, to the goals, to the aspirations, to being the light, to whatever it is you are wanting to build. But in that commitment, in that drive, we have to build in the rest. It has to be rhythmic action that takes into account the extraordinary circumstances that we find ourselves in energetically in the planet right now, where there is so much information and light coming to the surface of the planet and being emitted from our hearts right now. It's intense, and the need for integration has never been greater, and the need for rest and self-care, again, has never been greater. So if we are able to create rhythmic patterns to support us, taking into account all of the lessons, especially over the last 3 months, 4 months, where back in September, I was saying there was going to be a very strong need for self-care, and October was just about looking inward to get really, really solid to be able to handle what was coming, right? And then in November, there was this like meeting of all of the darkness as the shadows were being exposed and illuminated quite a bit more and were ready to be loved. We moved then into the eclipse passages in late November, early December, where a lot needed to shift and change and fall away because it couldn't come with us to this next level of embodiment. And then there was a capacity for wonder. In my own personal journey, I found that after a really strong like destruction, Kali energy of needing to 0 point it all and burn it all down, there was then spaciousness for the sacred and the divine to come in profoundly, and a realignment from my own mission to really let that be a focus of transforming the density to make space in our consciousness, in our awareness, for that sacred and divine energy to be felt in presence, and then allowing the action to come through from that space. If any of this resonates for you, we are on that journey together. And in a few moments, I want to share with you a soul message, both from my heart and from Gaia, who I work with very closely, the consciousness of the planet. So I just wanted to share with you that in this bouncing of the trampoline, you personally might feel a dichotomy of opposites that you are integrating right now. There's also in the external world, because everything is reflected as within, so without. There are those dichotomies as well, but you might be feeling them and noticing the polarity and then it coming up inside of you. And some of the things that were coming through were the energy of the dictator and the energy of cooperation, right? And when it came to the internal, this energy of the dictator was the shooting on yourself, the telling yourself what you must do, what you have to do with that judgmental energy, into a releasing of that and into a cooperative, this is for us kind of energy that is encouraging and harmonious instead of judgmental. And this is especially profound when it comes to self-care, taking care of the self, taking care of the household. But you'll also see this reflected in the outer world. You've got the people who are wanting to work with that cooperative, kind, harmonious energy of let's get this done together, and the other ones who are wanting to stay in the dictatorial energy of telling people what they have to do, what they must do, what they have to think, all of that. So you're seeing both of these internally and externally. We also have similar energies of basically disagreement and then harmony, internally and externally being reflected. These go along with the energies of being dependent upon others to bring us what we need, to do what we need, to give us the emotional support that we need, like all of it, which is we're interdependent beings, right? But there's also an energy of self-reliance. There is a super hyper independent energy as well. And we want to bring those into a harmony of being able to source what we require from ourselves first, reparent our hearts, give ourselves all of the love that we require, and then fill ourselves up to the point that we can share that with the world, and the world will reflect it back to us, as opposed to being in a state of victim and saying the world is not giving me what I need, what I require in this moment. Right now, people don't have a lot to give. Right? Everybody has lived their traumatic experiences over the last few years, and people are depleted. And so we cannot, and never have been able to, but truly cannot expect others to give to ourselves what we're not willing to give to ourselves. And we can start small and practice giving to ourselves. And I'm not talking like diamond rings and watches. I'm talking about love, compassion, respect, all of those things that we want the world to give us. It has to come through us first, especially in January. And this is how we can move out of both the individual and collective discomfort into an experience of more ease. It's filling ourselves up to the point that we are not rusty, empty buckets, which is the case for many right now. Time for rest, time for integration. That energy of feeling run ragged with everything that has happened over the last few years, right? It's alive within so many of us. And no amount of bubble baths and chocolate and treat yourself days are going to fix that. It is the energetics first, right? It is resting without guilt and judgment. It is connecting to the divine, to the earth, to source, all of that internally, and then feeling replenished and rejuvenated by it, that will support us in moving out of this energy of all of the tribulations and trials that we've been going through as a human race, as a planet, and on the personal level, right? Personal and collective. We've all got our own things we are walking through right now. It is giving to ourselves what we are looking for energetically this month and this year that is going to bring in more ease. And you might say, how can you even, right? With everything that's going on. Well, the question that I want to offer to you is, do you have a choice? If no one else can give it to you, and you're at that point of depletion, what other choice is there besides crumbling up into dust? It takes energy at first. But then when you settle into tapping into the infinite source that lies within and also is the all that is, and you start to replenish from that place, it all becomes so much easier. So I want to finish this 2020 January and beyond energy interpretation and update with a soul song, light language, that is coming as a blend from me and from my connection with Gaia. So I want to invite you to close your eyes and take a few deep breaths with me. Breathing in through your nose, fill up your belly, and just sighing it out. Do 2 more like that. Really fill up the nose, breathe into the belly and the heart, and sighing it out, relaxing the nervous system, coming into the space of presence. And 1 more deep breath in, all the way up to your crown, and exhaling, just allowing the mind to be a witness in the body and soul to receive what they need to receive in terms of codes. This is going to be beyond the mind level, but I want to share with you the energy that is beyond words. Feel it resonate within you, or perhaps there is some dissonance, and just witness. You can keep your eyes closed, or you can open your eyes if you would like. I'm just going to do this a cappella, so it's really coming through my heart to yours. Dishkana makeya, teki na ye poki dashkanatare, niakeu dirkishkana aye oyamaka, nikeshna retita, hiaki monoyata, he oiki napa, hari tikeya pashkana, he yokomayana, he tia dashkapa, heritia keupo, he tinaka, heriata, heumo, hishtaka, he ki kana a yopo kinatash, he ki yeo yama niaka. Beostiki yanamake heaki. Just breathing in and letting all of that land, and knowing and trusting that you received exactly what you need. Your subconscious mind, your body received everything. You can pull it forward and through when you need it. And this is a reminder that that is the case as well for the rest of life. You do have what you require inside of you. Maybe not all of the resources and the connections, and we need other people, but the ability to connect in and through to that sacred and divine aspect of you first, to inform what it is that you're going to do next, who you're going to reach out to for support, what it is that you're going to do. All of that does lay within you. I want to honor you and say thank you for being here on the planet at this amazing time. And I'm wishing you a gentle integration of these interesting energies that are ahead of us. All of my love.